Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is going to be the somewhat official end of Harvest Moon: More Friends of Mineral Town. This is going to be the last update in which I pretty much go over everything that I managed to accomplish during my time in this game. Some things that I missed, and, I think I really did come a long way despite missing a lot of things. And also with my limited knowledge coming into the game, you guys really helped me out a lot in this game, and I really do appreciate it. So this might be a bit of a longer update because there's a lot of stuff to go over. First things first, I had a child. I had a baby girl. Playing the female version, More Friends of Mineral Town, you will always get a girl. If you play the boy, and you play in the boy version, you'll always get a baby boy. So it's version specific, and now that your child is born, they just kind of lay around like a baby would in the bed. They never come out of the bed. You can never interact with them, can't talk to them, can't give them gifts, and so it's kind of very limited to what you can do when your child's first born. It stays in this state for 60 days, then you get an event where they enter the next stage of their life, and then 60 days after that, they enter the last stage of their life. So I might show off when my child grows up, but I have to play through another year off screen or just kind of simply skip days, which might be a little tedious, so we'll see how that goes. But the process of getting married, getting pregnant, and then having your child fully grown takes a very long time. It takes nearly 2 years, so keep that in mind if you are playing yourself, and that goes for the boy version as well. It is the 30th of winter today. I wanted to record on the 29th because I was afraid that since today is a festival, there's some stuff I don't think I'll be able to show off, but if I can't, I'm going to be doing a bonus episode after this in which I can just fit in anything that I didn't fit in before. So it is a festival, so we're going to have to kind of make do with that, and hopefully that won't get in our way too much. Now that Gray is a parent, he'll have a different set of dialogue. Name my baby Chocolat, by the way, that's how you pronounce that. So Chocolat cries all day long, what can we do? It's hard to raise a baby, it's more than I imagined, totally. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? So yeah, so that's that. And talking to Sabara, he says some really nice dialogue too, which is too bad that it is a festival, or else I would talk to him. Which is kind of cool, because it's not like it's like a set of dialogue. If you have a child with a different person, their family will respond differently. Like if you married Karen, then Jeff and Sasha would have a unique set of dialogue about their grandchild or whatever. So there was a storm yesterday, which is why I couldn't record. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get large milk out of medium rare. Got that cow worked up enough points to the point where they're giving me bigger milk, so really got a lot of profit off my animals. I'm very happy with how I did. I'm not a big animal person. I'm much more into crops and foraging and mining, which I have mentioned several times, but you guys encouraged me to get a couple of animals, so I did. I got some sheep and I got some cows, and we managed to kind of go through all the festivals. We managed to do the sheep festival and the cow festival and the chicken festival, and 9 times out of 10, being the sheep festival being the only exception, we managed to win. So that's really good. And I haven't really, changed that. It's all still the same animals. And chickens, right now, a lot of them are sick, which doesn't really matter to me right now anyways, because I'm not going to pay much attention to them after this point. But I have 5 of them. I do believe I got rid of one just because it got sick and I was just really fed up. And right now, money isn't a big deal to me, just because I don't need money for anything. Like what is there to buy? So I just decided, well, if my chickens are going to keep getting sick, I'm just going to sell the 6th one and just whatever with it. It's totally fine. It's not a big deal. I don't need the money anymore. I haven't brought my animals out all season just because there's been a lot of storms. As you can see, I haven't cleaned up my field from the last storm, so I've got a lot of branches and stuff going on. But I managed to build onto the little fence that I had made. The big area is for all of my livestock, and then the little area that I had built was supposed to be for chickens. I never really got any use out of it because it took so long to complete, but I managed to, make a nice little fence for them to come out and graze if it is that I wanted them to do so. Another thing I never showed off that a couple people have pointed out is the fireplace. If you throw a piece of wood in the fireplace, it lights it up. In wintertime, it increases your stamina and fatigue. However, if you light the fireplace in any other season except for winter, it has the opposite effect. So if you have a fireplace in any other season, it actually decreases your stamina, and it is negative, so don't do that. It only burns for 1 day, so every day you have to put a new log in the fire, but I hadn't pointed that out, and so that's that. It's really quite useful in winter. I still didn't get the sock, which I don't understand what I was doing wrong, because I gave Ellen multiple balls of yarn this season just to see if I could actually trigger it, and it didn't work because Thomas was supposed to come by, I think on the 9th, or the 14th, excuse me. No, that was Thanksgiving, the 24th. He was supposed to come after the Starry Night Festival and give you the sock, but he never did. So that's kind of the only piece of furniture I was missing. I never managed to get it, which is, you know, kind of a bummer, but I must have missed something or did something wrong, so that was one of the goals I didn't quite meet. I spent a lot of the time in the mines this season. If I take a look in my toolbox here, I have the cursed fishing rod, and I also got the cursed hoe. Now, I'm going to go into a little spiel about that. So I'm going to head on over to the mines. Once it is that you upgrade all of your tools to Mistral, the cursed tools will appear in the winter mine only. So once you have all your tools up to Mistral level, you can go to the winter mine, and just like with all the other collectible items in the mine, like being the jewels and things like that, certain items will appear on each of the levels. So if you go down to level 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, and 79, you will find each of the cursed tools. So there's a cursed watering can, a cursed fishing rod, a cursed axe, a cursed hammer, a cursed sickle, and a cursed hoe. So it has all of the main tools, each on a certain level. Of course, it's by chance, just like with all the jewels. So save before you go to that level. Dig around in the ground using your hoe, and you may be able, to find a cursed tool. So I managed to find 2 of them. I found the hoe and I found the fishing rod. Fishing rod's on level 29 and the hoe is on level 39. I didn't spend a lot of time getting all of them just because I wanted to find a few of them just for, you know, demonstration's sake. Once you have a cursed tool, there's certain amounts of criteria you then have to do to get it blessed. If you have a cursed tool and you equip it, you cannot unequip it. You actually have to go to Carter and pay him $1,000 to take it out of your inventory slot until he blesses it, or he kind of removes the tool. You will not be able to remove it, and each time you equip it, even if you do it accidentally, he has to take it out of your inventory. So keep that in mind. You can see also that I have 1 cursed tool, and I have the fishing rod that's still cursed. The blessed hoe, for example, in order to make it from a cursed tool to a blessed tool, all you have to do is get Carter to remove the tool 10 times. Now that cost $100,000, so if you have to have the gold to be able to do that, but I did it just for demonstration purpose. The blessed tools are a level 6 tool, so they are more powerful than the Mistral tools. However, there's 1 more level of tool up from the blessed that is level 7 and is the most powerful tool in the game. However, it's a huge pain in the ass to try and get, and I didn't get around to doing it. Alright, so that's that. Those are the blessed tools. Now, to move up to the most highest amount of tools, what you then have to do, once you have 1 blessed tool, doesn't matter which one it can be any blessed tool, you then want to go to the other mine. So you want to go to the spring mine and dig around in the ground just like you did to find the cursed tools. And there's going to be these little, I think they're called mystic stones, and they look like black branches. And what you can do is you can bring these black branches to Sabara, and he will use the mythic stone combined with the Blessed tool to make the highest level tool that is available in the game. So that's a level 7 tool. You will absolutely have amazing stamina with it. You will probably never run out of stamina, especially if you got power berries. And that's that. I'm going to probably show that off in glitches and cheats and stuff. I'll just show off what it looks like. But there's quite a lot of steps in order to get a lot of these tools, and yeah, it's really not easy, and I did try my best, but that wasn't something I was really intending to do from the beginning. A lot of people asked if I was going to get the cursed tools, and it wasn't my intention, but I got a couple of them, so I can't complain. I didn't manage to get a Kappa Jewel in the mine, which is kind of disappointing, because you can actually find a Kappa Jewel on the zeroth, the first floor, because this floor when you enter is technically floor 0, and then when you go down it's floor 1. So if you dig around and you hit all the rocks on this level, you actually have the opportunity to find a Kappa Jewel. I never did, but I've already explained those, and they're very similar to the Goddess Jewels and the Jewels of Truth. So didn't manage to get that. If I go ahead and I look on the sub-screen here, you can see I have 9 power berries, so I'm going to be getting the 10th one right now, and then that will make all 10 power berries, which I'm very happy about. I pretty much managed to do that with absolutely no problem. You can see Gray has a lot of hearts, my dog really loves me, my baby's hearts will go up when I actually have the opportunity to interact with her, and I almost got all of my lumber back, so that's pretty awesome. The power berries that I was missing, one of them was on the 19th floor of the winter mine, so this mine right here. I dug down to the 19th floor, and the power berry was in the mine. And then the second one was fishing off the pier. When you have a Mistral level fishing rod, I managed to catch the berry, and the 10th berry, the last one that I was missing, is actually behind this mine. So if you walk behind the mine and you press A, at the very back of the mine, you find a power berry. So that one can be obtained as early as winter of your first year. I just didn't know about that until later on when I looked it up. So that's kind of one of the easier ones to get, but I ironically got it last. I got a lot of the harder ones first, like getting down to the 100th floor of the spring mine, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, are you kidding me? But yeah, I got all 10 power berries and the 11th blue power berry, so that's very good. So that's 100% pretty much completed. You can see a lot of my chickens are sick and unhappy. I'm probably just going to sell them all after this if I am going to keep playing or, you know, going for events or anything, just because they're a big pain in the butt to try and take care of. I didn't need the Harvest Sprites' help at all this season, but as you can see, I did make use of them. I tried to use the Harvest Sprites when I wanted to make a lot of money, especially in the last year. I kind of went on a planting spree, and I planted a lot of stuff, and I needed their help. So Bold is obviously a great waterer, so is Chief. I got them to also harvest. I didn't get them to do a lot of anything else, but yeah, I think that I did pretty good, and I made use of them the most that I could. They do have mini games to play, which I think I'm going to show off in a bonus, because I don't think I'll be able to actually go to their house today because it's a festival. So I'll show off the mini games that you're able to play with them next time. As you can see here, I don't know how, I managed to make $107,000 this month. And I really only spent $25,000, so yeah, I somehow managed to still make a lot of money, even though I didn't use money for anything, and I didn't really spend much because I don't really need to buy anything either. But as you can see, this whole year was pretty productive. You know, I got $74,000 in the beginning of the year, kind of started off a little bit slow. In summer, I planted all those pineapples, made a lot of money, and then in fall, I made even more money. I made like $250,000 in one season, which is pretty amazing, I gotta say, or $500,000 rather. And in this one I still managed to break 100,000. So, you know, once you do get very developed in this game, it's not difficult to make money. You just gotta know how to do it. All my tools are upgraded all the way to Mistral. Of course, I have some of the cursed tools and some of the blessed tools, so that's also a really good thing. And there's also another screen with stats that I haven't shown off I haven't really shown it off too much, but we're going to go to the memo screen, which is going to show us some other stats. Here we have our farm degree page, which basically you accumulate points in each section depending on what you've done. So shipment, you get more points for the amount of stuff that you ship, so how many unique things you ship. So if you ship like every single type of crop, your thing will go up. Fishing, same thing, if you catch lots of fish. Animals, if you own a lot of animals and you have like baby form of each animal and things like that, it goes up. It goes up for getting your animal's heart points up as well. People, I actually got the max amount of points. There's 1,000 points in the category, which is basically befriending people, using the harvest sprites, getting their heart points up, and just being very friendly, which is very easy to get in this game. Cooking, you get points for cooking, obviously. So how much you ship, how many recipes you create, how many recipes you actually get from people, which is why I have some points in this category, because I've befriended people and I've managed to get recipes from them. Building is for how many buildings you own, expansions, and pieces of furniture that you buy. Tools, so how many tools you own, how much you've had them upgraded, and I've almost got the max. If I would have got all the cursed and blessed tools, that probably would have been all the way up. Letters, how many letters people send you for your birthday, for New Year's, etc., etc. Events as well, just how many events you view with heart events and events with villagers. And then you have your heroine points. There's a total of 10,000 points, so there's 1,000 points in each category. I managed to get a little over half, you know, like almost 5,500 out of 10,000. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't do. Like I've mentioned, I don't cook in Harvest Moon because it's boring and it's kind of difficult, actually. Fishing, I don't do in Harvest Moon for the same reason, pretty much. Animals, I never really pay attention to. But there's a lot of categories that I worked really hard in, you know, building and tools being one of them, and I managed to get the max amount of points for people, so overall I think that's not too shabby. This also shows the number of things that you shipped throughout the game, so it keeps a running count of what you've grown and how much you shipped of each item. You know, pineapples I shipped 522, so think about how much money that made me. I've shipped 2,506 sweet potatoes, which is just a fucking bonkers. That's a lot. And, you know, it shows how much, you know, product your animal gave you and, you know, how much you think that's worth, really. So yeah, you can just go through just for fun and see what you've done and how much you really were diverse in this game. I mean, I think I did pretty good. There's a lot of stuff I didn't ship, obviously, but it's kind of well-rounded. I got quite a few things shipped in terms of crops. Quite a few. I did lots of mining, so lots of mining stuff shipped. You know, animal products, things like that. So that's a good thing. You can see I have quite the diverse list, but not everything in the game, clearly. I also have records, so how much you've caught, and the maximum size and how many you've caught for fish, which I don't find that interesting, but as you can see, I mean, I did a decent amount of fishing. I mostly caught most of these fish when I was trying to get the power berry, so that's that. They also have other records, so mini games. I played a couple mini games just to get my sprites level up, but there's a harvest game, a watering game, and a animal game that you can play. They also keep track of your record for practicing with your dog, so how far you can throw the dog disc. And this is also interesting as well. If you really want to break down your stats, you can see how much income you made in one day. The highest amount that I made in one day was $228,000, which is nuts. Highest amount that I spent was $50,000 in a day. How much I earned in 1 month, the highest amount was 594,183 gold. And the highest amount of money that I used in 1 month was $865,000. So, as you can see, I'm still clearly making more money than I'm losing, but I definitely knew how to spend money as well. It keeps track of your longest living animal. and your lowest level in the mine. Please note that it does say that I legitimately tried to get all the way down to the spring mine to get that stupid teleport stone, which I never got, which made me so mad. I didn't point that out earlier, but I got to the 246th floor of the spring mine. It took me hours to get there, and I ran out of stamina, and the teleport stone's on the 255th floor, so I was really quite peeved about that. But as you can see, I did a lot of mining too, so yeah, like I said, I worked my ass off in this game. I really tried my best to do as much as I could. Of course, there's things that I didn't even touch upon, you know, like homes I didn't get, because there's only one you can get if you connect to the Game Boy. There's another one that you can't get unless you're married for 50 years in the game, and then there's another one that you can't get unless you pay $100 million, which is absolutely just ridiculous, I think. So that's that. We can go around our glorious town of Mineral Town, but nobody's around. We can't talk to anybody and say goodbye and tell them how much we miss them. I guess, just to end things off, if I'm at a high enough level of friendship with these sprites, I might be able to play a game with them, and I can showcase the game. So, yeah, you know what, let's do that now, if I can. I'll show off a couple of them. Watering game. All you have to do is watch to see which ones the sprites water, and then you have to water them in the same order. So, that's pretty easy to do. So that one first, then this one, and then this one. And playing these mini games increases the sprites' like level of doing things. So if I play this mini game a couple times with this specific sprite, he will be a better waterer. And I played this game a couple of times, which is why he's so good at watering. As you can see, I got 9 watered, 9 turns with no misses. And I got a lot of points for that, so I did that game perfectly. Woohoo! I think I'm getting better at watering, but I think you can only play one game with each sprite, so you have to come back if you want to level them up. I guess that's so you can't like grind excessively and try to get their heart levels worked up to like a ridiculous level. It just wouldn't work. I'm gonna try some of these sprites, but some of them I haven't talked to in a while. I guess we can do the harvesting game next. Alright, so he's gonna explain how to do this. Hit the A button repeatedly to help us harvest. If you make us work too fast, our faces get red. If you don't slow down, we'll start making mistakes. So if you see our faces getting red, slow down the pace to give us a rest. Alright. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, mash A when he gets tired, then stop. As you can see, he's getting red already. So obviously, if your sprite's not very good at the game you're playing, it is going to be a little harder to be successful. But I didn't really play these games because I didn't quite understand them in my playthrough, but they're kind of fun, and it is a good way to get them leveled up if you really do use them a lot, and you don't want to just let them level up slowly by actually doing the job, then this is fun too. So, slow down, there we go. So that's 3 so far. So this is very rinse and repeat. But mini games are always fun, especially when they're really fun and quirky and easy, like this one. Woohoo! Let's see if we can get one more before time is up. There we go. I doubt I'll get another one. 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. So again, self-explanatory, and maybe I'll be able to play the final game. I might not be able to. I don't even think I've played the final game, honestly, because I don't have any use for them to help me with my animals, but I'll see. I was trying to give Nappy some presents, but I haven't, like, talked to him at all, so it might not work. Yeah. We'll play together when we're good friends. Timid, I don't think I've ever talked to, so he's not gonna play. I haven't talked to Hoggy or Aqua for a while either. I kind of focused on the light blue, the dark blue, or sorry, I focused on the dark blue, the purple, and the red sprite for a while. So Let's try Stayed. No. Alright, so unfortunately I showed 2 out of 3 minigames. I'll do the third one in a bonus episode of sorts. And I don't really know what else I want to show off. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Now that I've done monthly updates, it's pretty easy to kind of track my progress and what it is that I did and what it is I didn't do. And I'm still kind of on the fence about if I'm going to go back and get a lot of events that I missed, just because a lot of them are very tedious. After the Let's Play is over, I will obviously go ahead and I will upload a lot of the hard events and villager events and things like that I missed, or things that I haven't uploaded yet. I always do that at the end of the Let's Play so you don't miss these updates in between all of the, spamming that I do. So I think that's it. Don't be too sad, because we're going to do a lot of fun, silly, fooling around stuff in another episode that I have coming up. But, yeah, that's it. Managed to become a mom and a wife, and I got my farm fully upgraded. I kind of, got all the animals in the game. I got all the power berries, did a lot of work, got a lot of money, spent a lot of money, and overall, in 3 years' time, I don't think I did too badly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this super long update. I really hope you enjoyed Harvest Moon, More Friends of Mineral Town. It was great. You guys were an awesome help, an awesome audience. I always got lots of support for this project, which was awesome. And stay tuned for one more bonus episode of Fun Times. So again, one more big, huge thank you to everybody who watched the series, and I hope that you would join me when I do more Harvest Moon, because you know that they're coming up sometime in the future. So, see you guys later.